Hi, this is the Wrestling Conscious channel where we suplex some common sense in the modern day era of wrestling. Because listen, if you're a mark, a schmark, or whatever, that's fine. But let's talk the truth. Talk the truth and not lie. The reason why I started this channel is because when I'm listening to other people's reviews, I don't think they were being honest. I think they just listen to whatever a few other YouTube creators are saying and they regurgitate and they just put a negative spin to it and that's it. And I feel like if we are wrestling fans and we invest a lot watching the hours and we're investing years into this product, whatever product, WWE, AEW or even indie wrestling, give your honest opinion, give your honest views and have some critical thinking. Because sometimes when you watch, especially WWE, you just train to like a product a certain way and then you're like, oh, something didn't feel right and you couldn't articulate it. So why did you feel that way? And sometimes if you're a certain age, you don't have people to talk to about wrestling so passionately and so deeply. And this is why I have the channel of giving a different point of view. So I just wanted to give you a bit of background of like my goals. I want to be commentator or analyst for wrestling and giving really insightful views, things of value and from a different perspective. I don't know if you know about my voice. I know my voice is quite deep. I am a woman. And I'm based in the UK, based in London exactly. Don't come for me. And I just want to give you a bit of story time how I got into wrestling. So when the Wrestling Conscience was a little girl, around 11, 12, I didn't know what, obviously I know what wrestling was, but I went to my mom's friend's house, back in the day with parents. They just leave you anywhere. So they left at my mom's friend's house while they went out. And one night, I was watching WCW with my mom's friend house. It was similar ages. I think it was a few years older than me. I was about 11, 12. That guy was about 13, 14. And I was just watching this wrestling. I can't remember what it was, but all I know it was WCW. And I was just watching these men go in the ring. And I was like, what is this? And then I went to school and I was chatting to my friends and I was like, have you heard of this? And like, yeah, I watched WCW and the NWO and stuff. And I was like, cool. And I started watching WCW and I got hooked onto it. Remember DDP, Booker T. And then I was talking to other friends. They was talking about WWF and I was like, what? So then I started watching WWF at the same time. And I legitimately at 11, 12 years old thought it was real. I remember, I can't remember the storyline exactly, but I used to think about it, watch it on the... Let me tell you something as well about me. So we didn't really have cable or satellite where I lived because of, funds and being poor. So what I used to do, have a VHS tape, and it's called Sky. So if you're in the UK, you have like the cable back then or the satellite back then was called Sky. I would get my VHS tape, I can't even say the word, the videotape. I'll give it to my friends so they'll tape it on the Friday night. And then I'll get it on Monday when I go to school and I watch it Monday evening after school. So, I watch it and then they can just tape over it. And that's how I got to watch wrestling because I couldn't keep up to date without them not taping it for me. Anyhow, when I used to watch the storylines, I legit thought it was real. I used to wake up at night and fret like, oh, I hope Undertaker doesn't get in trouble or people don't get arrested or when they kidnap somebody or do something to hit someone, like they're going to go to jail. And I used to pray for them, please don't let them go to jail. Because I really legit thought it was real. And then someone broke my heart. I said, it's not real. And then it just, for like a week, I was like, I can't watch wrestling because you broke my heart. Because I thought it was real. I thought it was like, Santa Claus not real, right? Then after that, I was like, you know what? It's quite entertaining. I'm going to watch it. And then I start having wrestling friends. I was one of those people in school where I was a floater. Like, I could talk to anybody at school. I didn't really belong to a certain group. So I was like with the emo kids, the goths. In the UK, it's not a great term, but that was the term of the time. It's called chav. People from council housing estates. So people from a very low economic, social economic place. So basically, if you're usually poor. So I know I get a lot of American views here. So someone's from like the projects, and not, I sort of call them chavs. It's just very geography term, but that was early 2000s. That was the term used. Or you call them, if you not from London, the Midlands, you call them townies. So people who were kind of popular, but they were kind of chavs, but they weren't emos, and they weren't like grunge, and they weren't alternatives. Anyhow, and then you have like the popular girls and the unpopular girls. I just thought I'd just chat to anyone. And when I was chatting to everyone, I realised, because wrestling was like popular culture at the time, it was a common denominator. You just talk to everyone about wrestling. Everyone's seen wrestling or engaged from whatever part of high school or secondary school you are in. And then I was thinking, maybe as a teenager, feeling an outsider. I know it was a bit of a paradox. I've talked to everyone. I was a floater. I got on with everybody, had wrestling in common, but at the same time, felt like I was an outsider as well. And no one could really understand me. I'm just alone in the world. And wrestling was that thing where I was looking forward to every week watching, being entertained. And I didn't realise, maybe when I was especially 14 and what I was going through in my home life, it was very difficult. It just helped me, I guess, with depression, I guess. I didn't realise until I reflect now as an adult how depressed I was about 14 till about 17. And wrestling, I'm going to be honest, I think wrestling saved me. And I don't know why. It was the only thing I would look forward to. The only thing I really loved and felt passionate with. Anyway, so when I was 18, I went to university. So I didn't have cable. There wasn't really social media and internet like that where you can catch up and have highlights. So somehow organically, I did not I didn't have any dealings with wrestling from 18 till about to my late 20s, early 40s. So for about 10, 12 years, nothing wrestling. What got me back into wrestling in my adulthood was the storyline of Undertaker and him losing his streak. And I was like, someone sent me a link and I was like, what the F is going on? Losing his streak, I think, to Brock Lesnar. So I was like, let me get involved. I watched it for a little bit, wrestling for a year or two. I got hooked on the NXT brand. There were some really good characters I was rooting for. And then I was like, this is garbage. And I just left it. And in the UK, I did watch a few of indie British. I was in London, so watching a lot of indie wrestling. Because I think I'm looking at, is it 2016, 2017, 2018? The British independent scene was booming of wrestling. So I had access to that, and it was very exciting to watch, especially in East London. When I thought wrestling was getting a bit of crap, I'm like, I can't dedicate 10 hours a week watching this, and it's crap. To my standards, when I said wrestling, it was mostly WWE, and when I lost track of it. And then last year, I was like, Cody Rhodes is back in the WWE. And I was like, what? Because when I stopped watching wrestling, it was him. He was being Stardust with his brother, Goldust. And I thought, this guy is very, very talented. And I loved the Stardust character. But they weren't taking it seriously. And I think back then I couldn't articulate it. There was him. Is it Tyson Kidd? I think Tyson Kidd just broke his neck or something around that time. I was like, Tyson Kidd is very, very talented. And they're not pushing him. Cesaro is talented and they're not. And I was like, I can't watch this where there's talented wrestlers where very entertaining, and complete garbage is coming through. I couldn't justify it. I couldn't articulate it. I didn't understand. So, yeah. Hope that helps. Anyhow, so here we are now. So I was like, what's happening with Cody Rhodes and the story? I love Dusty Rhodes. So I was like, yep, okay, cool. Let me watch it. I was hooked from the story. I watched WE40. I was in the UK. I stayed late at night. I wanted to watch it with people. I went to like a bar the first night where actually the WWE UK official was there, so they was giving like lots of prizes. I was kind of in the shot. So sometimes when they go internationally to show like, yeah, there's an international crowd, they pick a WWE, they pick a place, and then they do a bit of recording to show, yeah, we're in the UK, we're in Germany. So I was in the bar, the official bar, where WWE UK was showing WrestleMania for the first night, and they were filming people getting excited. So what they do, like, there's a producer there, and they're like, be very excited and say that you're okay, and like, go rah to show that you're part of the WWE universe. And I think I half-assedly do it because I was cut. I was there. I think you can see my finger and my hand. I was like, I'm not going to be acting like a smart, you know what I mean, on, you know, world TV, but I was there. And then on the second night, I found somewhere in East London to watch wrestling with other people, and it was a really cool community. So yeah, I love watching like big events with different wrestling fans and community. And what I realised, I need to put a video, that black people really love the bloodline. And I didn't understand it. They really love the bloodline to a fault. And then it's just like when someone says, can you spot all the red cards? You just realise a lot of black people love the bloodline. And I just end up, after the WrestleMania, walking around and seeing bloodline t-shirts, seeing people in the gym. Bloodline is everywhere. So I was like, and usually by black people. So I was like, wow, there's a connection there. There's a connection. And black people really love Roman Reigns and accept him as their tribal chief. So after that, I kind of tried to fit into wrestling communities in the UK, and I couldn't really find one. I tried, watching different content. I've been featured on a wrestling podcast before, and that was quite cool. I went to AEW Wembley show. I tried to go to different wrestling talk shows and stuff like that, and I feel like I couldn't really find the niche or market which I want to talk about wrestling. It was either really, really goofy, or it's very populist to just say the same things what everyone else is saying. And I feel like with a global brand, especially WWE, talking about wrestling, there's so much people who kind of would think like me, but don't really get that voice or get that analytical kind of view, and just hating all the time, or just saying the same things what other podcasts are saying. Because what I realised, if 2 or 3 podcasts say things, everyone just latches on and thinks it's true. And I think that is not cool. And I think like if we're going to be part of wrestling, and watch it and invest in it, we should have critical thinking skills and common sense to look at, okay, there could be different point of views. So in summary, if you made it this far, I really want to make this wrestling channel a success. I know I'll probably have to improve a lot, maybe with production, but I just want to make sure to test what kind of content is good, and then I can level up on the production. I've tried a few things hasn't worked out. So what I really want to do, please help me to get to 100 subscribers by the next couple of weeks. By the end of the year, I want to surpass 100 subscribers, and then next year I'll have goals to have like 1,000. I really want to get to 10,000 at least. I really love to get 100 like 1 million views a month. That would be amazing. That's what I'm hoping for as a wrestling analyst. Please let me know. Please, if you listen to it, please just like, subscribe, a comment. How has wrestling saved you? How has wrestling impacted your life? I would love to know. Yeah, this is Wrestling Conscience, where we just want to create a cool community and just love wrestling and loving life. Wrestling Conscience over.